Hello, everyone. Good afternoon.
Good
Hi, Fat.
afternoon, John.
Thursday. It's
Are
been
we
a
live?
rainy, yes, we are. It's been a rainy slash wet Thursday in my part of the world. How about you?
For me, we're in the same part of the world. Gloomy.
Right? I think it's better than having a really hot summer type of Thursday, especially when we're about to enter the weekend soon.
Yeah, yeah.
So, welcome everyone to the Career Clinic. This is episode number 9. Fat, can you believe it? It's episode 9. We've been doing this for like almost 2 months now.
In fairness to us.
So welcome. We're here to read your career letters, concerns, and problems. And Farah and I are going to try to answer them live together with the help of our listeners and our viewers who are also here to pitch in their thoughts about the letters sent by our folks.
Mhm.
So it's going to be an exciting episode because I think this is something that we can all relate to. We are going to talk about
I like this
bullies.
topic. I like this
Bullies in
topic.
the workplace. I thought of this because I think we also need to redefine or at least establish the definition of what bullying is.
Mm,
Because most people
agree.
think that bullying has to be something. Oops, sorry. I think I clicked again. I'm so sorry. There you go.
We're back.
Okay, we're back. Uh, I think we need to change the definition because bullying is often perceived to be violent or vocal,
Oo.
but sometimes bullying can also be in the form of subtle means that we
Correct.
don't notice is actually happening as a form of bullying,
I have a
right?
term for that, John.
Which is what?
I call it microaggressions.
Ooh, microaggressions. Agree.
And
Uh,
later, when we read the letters, I think they'll get the context.
I think microaggressions, I sense microaggressions when you're new in the company and someone is not feeling you.
Mhm.
So they send those
Or,
microaggression vibes, making you
or
feel
just
like you
have
still have to prove your worth in the company.
Yeah. Or John, even outside of the workplace, for example, you have this uncle or cousin who just keeps
Hmm.
making bad jokes that are in the form of microaggressions already. That
Agree. And
term can
it
be
could happen. It doesn't need to happen face to face. It could happen on group chats in front of your
online.
families, right?
Mhm.
Can that also be part? Yeah. Okay. So welcome everyone. If it's your first time to engage with us, by the way, I forgot to ask this. Could you please give us an exclamation mark? Give us a heart. Give us a like. If it's your first time to join us in this session, we will appreciate that. If it's your first time to join us, this is our company, JY Consultancy and Ventures. We specialize in helping organizations propel their employees to success. So, whether it be about public speaking, business writing, leadership, or motivation, we're the ones who can help you bring out the best from your folks, from your people. And of course, we take pride for having conducted our sessions. These days, we do a lot of online workshops, trainings, team building sessions, and motivational talks for companies around the world. It's easier now because we get to do that also online via video streaming platforms. If you'd like to take a sample of our past webinars, I'd like to invite you to please check out by scanning the QR code or copying the website link into your browser. Okay, so Fat, let's get to business. Again, today's topic is managing bullies
Mm.
in the workplace.
Bullies.
Have you ever encountered a bully at work?
um, for me, luckily, no. Maybe in school,
I can see that.
yes. In school,
Oh yeah, in
yes.
school.
But
Mm,
not in the workplace because I don't know. Maybe John, we're very lucky to be in workplaces where the culture
agree.
is not more family type, not
Family
really,
oriented.
not like an extension of high school. But I hear
Or
there are some companies.
oh, you'll be surprised,
Mhm.
especially when you get to read the letters of some of our listeners
Yeah.
later on. I
Mhm.
don't think I've experienced one. I do have
Right?
experienced being antagonized, perhaps because you're new in the company, because you still
But
have to
not
prove
really
your worth.
bullying.
Yeah, it's more of like testing the waters,
Mm.
or
Yeah, pushing you, no?
yeah, that's right. Before we start, let's first give away a prize because we always promise this to our participants. We're going to be giving away now 250 pesos worth of freebies from our sponsor, and this is also healthy. This is Osh, fun flavored snacks made out of dried vegetables and fruits.
Super
So we'll be
love
giving
this.
away, right? We'll be giving away 250 pesos worth of gift certificate. In fact, what I'll be doing is the way we're going to be selecting the winner
Mm-hmm,
is
mm-hmm.
based on, I think this person needs to be rewarded. Okay. So the winner is the person who sent the first message in the chat
In the chat
box.
box. Sige, kayang-kaya
Yes.
natin yan. What I like
Right?
about this criteria is it's so objective. All we have to do is scroll back.
Agree. Right. So let's see who is that person. Can let's double check because I have someone here. I already have someone here, but let me check if you have the same name. So mine is Mon Saspa.
Same with mine, Mon
All
Saspa.
right.
And his
Okay.
first message is Yahoo!
Yahoo. Agree. Okay. So Mon, I think Mon already won something before, right? I think he won a webinar ticket. I'm not familiar. I can't remember,
Always
but I
on
think
time
he
kasi
won.
siya. So this is the
Okay.
reward for being on time.
Very good. So, Mon, we're here to reward you and we're here to reinforce the behavior that we would appreciate if our participants, if our viewers will come on time next time. Okay. So, Mon, here's your prize. Claim your 250 pesos by copying the email address that is marketing at I'mAlsoHealthy.com and indicate that you are claiming 250 pesos worth of gift certificate courtesy of Jonathan.
Love
Okay.
it.
All
I'm
right.
enjoying my box, John. So shout out
I am
to
as well. I'm about to
Also
finish everything
Healthy.
now.
Thank you po.
So thank you. All right. Also Healthy, by the way, is available in leading supermarkets nationwide, like in Rostan's, for example, and they also have their own online store on Shopee. Okay, I'll give you the floor. Let's read the first letter.
Sure, sure, John. Bullying in the workplace. John, a colleague has been sharing false information about me in the office. This was reported to me by a close friend who received it firsthand. Okay, so firsthand from the person spreading the rumor. Should I confront the culprit, John? Hmm.
Okay, are you okay? Let me share my first thoughts.
Go ahead. Because last time we had a similar letter, but it
Yeah,
was online. This one is
agree.
in the workplace talaga, like caught in the
Yeah.
act.
Because
Yeah.
I mean, people are starting to be back in the office, right? A lot of, for
Mm-hmm,
example,
mm-hmm.
BPOs are required to be back as part of their
Yes.
mandate because they can only claim their incentives if their folks are literally working in the building. There are two things I'd like to consider here first.
Mm-hmm,
I
mm-hmm,
am for confrontation because I am not a big fan of silent treatment. I do think that at times you need to ask directly from the very source. However, before I do that, even if it was my close friend who disclosed it to me, I will still first verify if it was the truth.
mm-hmm,
And the reason
mm-hmm,
for that is
mm-hmm,
because, secondhand information is always going to be risky. What I will
mm-hmm.
do instead is I will ask a second or third person who might be also a reliable source that this is really
And
the
an
same rumor,
objective.
an objective way, that this is really a rumor that is being circulated by this person, right?
Mm-hmm,
When I'm
mm-hmm,
able to reach a certain threshold of numbers, let's say three or five people, and I think that's already enough if you're just a small team, then I will invite the person for a meeting and I would like to ask why,
mm-hmm,
right?
mm-hmm, mm-hmm,
Worst case
mm-hmm.
scenario, if the rumor is so grave, then
Yeah.
I will not hesitate to involve HR as well because this is already damaging of one's character that will
Mm-hmm.
affect your mental wellness and also how people perceive you at work. So
Agree,
there.
agree.
How about you, Fa?
Quite aligned, John. But for me, there are some rumors you can ignore if it's petty or non-integrity related, because
Mm-hmm.
I'm confident that my actions will always speak louder than rumors.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But I'm also team confrontation, especially when it's integrity related or career defining.
Yes.
And what do I mean by this? So confrontation doesn't have to be violent or dramatic, K-drama levels. No, for me, like you match the type of confrontation depending on how petty or how serious the rumor is, right? So like if it's a very petty rumor, hey, hindi ko boyfriend si Jungkook, bakit mo pinagkakalat? You can joke it that way, but if it's
I
really
knew
like
you were gonna mention a BTS example.
but if it's really integrity related or career defining, then I agree with you, John. There's merit to gather proof. So more than
Yeah.
your close friend, are there other people in that moment who heard the rumor also? And then
Yeah.
once you gather these information, personally confront if it's something you think you can handle to one on
Mm-hmm.
one with each
Mm-hmm.
other, or if it's really
What would
serious.
you? I'm curious, pa. What would you
Yeah.
consider would be a grave rumor? Like, for example, for me, a grave
Mm-mm.
rumor would be spreading around that someone is sleeping with person X.
Exactly. Stuff like that, no? Or even stealing,
Yeah, stealing
mga ganon
money.
eh.
Like you were
Or
given a budget to spend for a project, and then you kept a certain amount of money for your
diba?
personal needs.
Yeah, like that. Those for me are like grave rumors that would really require proof. But if
Mhm.
it's just a little office chismes or something, I feel like a little nudge, personal nudge can do.
Yeah, I agree. I would also sometimes shrug off if it's something that's petty because sometimes the more you give attention to those types of people, the more it emboldens them to think that they are important and that
Yeah,
they will crave for that attention further.
agree.
Okay. So thank you. All right. Let's before we proceed, can I get an exclamation mark from our listeners? Are you on the same boat? What are your thoughts, by the way, about that as well? Have you
Oo.
experienced the same thing?
Yeah, actually, I want to hear from the audience. Have you experienced being a victim of rumor mongering in the office?
Mhm. Right. Uh, I was very young way back then, but I remember if there was anything that was, I remember this when we were working in GSK. I
Mm-mm,
remember some
mm.
people were making fun of me because I was sleeping inside my car, so that I don't get to meet the 7 a.m. coding. And I'm
Coding.
like,
Yeah,
laugh all you want, I don't care. At least I get to the office early, and
yeah,
I
yeah,
get
yeah.
to have my shower.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
So those are the kinds of things that
At
just
the gym.
okay. All right. Let's continue the session. And before we do that, we're gonna give away tickets again to our participants. We're gonna
Mm.
give away 5 free tickets to our upcoming workshop happening tomorrow, Friday at 4:30 p.m. I can't believe it. It's already Friday. I thought it was just Monday a few hours ago.
Mhm.
So this is for the art of virtual selling and remote customer service. It's an online bootcamp for sales agents, customer reps, and entrepreneurs. Fa, could you please help me out? Let's call out 5 participants who are all going to be winning a ticket each.
Sure, sure. Congratulations to five people who get to bring a plus one, right, John? So
Yes, go ahead.
let's pick someone from Facebook. Congratulations to Sunday Vince Latergo.
Congratulations.
Congratulations. Let's pick someone still from Facebook. Congratulations to Sherwin Alvarez Saavedra.
Congratulations,
Congratulations.
Sherwin. Three more.
Also, also to Ayo Marie Cortez, LinkedIn.
Okay, and last one.
John Kelvin, Facebook.
All right, congratulations. So
Congratulations.
all our winners, how do you claim your prize? Simple. Look at the scrolling marquee at the bottom of the screen. It's rolling left and right. Right? Sorry, from right to left. And you're going to be seeing there a portion that says, in order for you to claim your prize, you have to visit this portal. Okay? That's bit.ly/JY prize. We have here a very interesting question I'd like to answer.
Mm,
Margaret Ann Racho says,
mm.
do you think that parinig is Tagalog for trying to sound off or make something,
Phishing.
yeah, phishing also in social media is a kind of bullying? Uh, Objectively, no. The definitions are different because bullying has to involve uh, abuse or exploitation of power,
Mhm,
or to the
mhm,
point that you're trying to use your power in terms of numbers to make a person feel that they are out of control about a situation you want them to be in.
mhm,
So
mhm,
if you're nagpaparinig, if you're trying to sound off, for example, that someone did this and that, right? But you're not really the one who's directly named, I don't think that that is bullying yet.
mhm,
Right?
mhm,
I don't think it's bullying yet, especially even if, let's say, the hints lead to you. I don't think that is bullying yet, especially when there is a lot of space for people to interpret it as someone else. Plus, I would
mm.
not call it as
Interesting.
bullying. I would not call it as bullying. I would call it as spreading rumors,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
I would call it instead as probably, if it's really a grave claim, I would not call it as bullying. I would call it as assassination of someone's character, for example, right?
Yeah, yeah.
In this case, I think bullying involves that you're trying to. So bullying for me would involve you are deliberately doing it because you want to incite a certain feeling that the person will feel inferior about themselves, that the
Mhm.
person will feel intensively bad about themselves.
Mhm. Mhm.
So there. Looking at more comments here from Cecil
Interesting.
Vinas. So Cecil says here, yes, it's hard to handle because that was the most I hate things to accuse me, even you're working godly. I'm
Well,
not sure if there were some words missed out here.
uh, baka working well and
Working well, yeah, or
na-accuse pa
working
rin
good.
siya.
Yeah.
Mm-mm.
Okay, let's move to the next question, Fat. You guys are cool. Let's start with the next one. Let me read this one. Okay,
Mhm.
this one's a mouthful.
Yeah, yeah.
So, Farah and John, my boss has been teasing me with jokes I find offensive for months now, ever since I gave birth and have been missing out on some of my deliverables due to my mommy duties. She has been consistently cracking jokes like,
Mhm.
maybe you can just be on maternity leave forever. Or, we didn't really feel that you were gone. Okay? So I get the point. For me, this is bullying.
Mm-mm.
Especially if
Mm-mm.
it's something, if this was something that was said in public, especially. So meaning you
Mm-mm.
were saying it because you wanted to incite laughter from other people in front of others. That for me is bullying.
Mhm.
Right?
Gaslighting for me is a form of
Right.
bullying. So yeah.
Right? So she probably means well, but I do think jokes are half meant, right? Yes, I do think that jokes can be half meant. And when someone has a pattern, so you see the pattern here, such as maybe you can just be on maternity leave forever. We
Mm-mm.
didn't really feel that you were gone. There's a pattern here, and that is across all the statements. It's trying to imply that we don't really need you here. It's totally fine if you resign. It's totally fine if you move somewhere else
Mhm. Mhm.
where we don't need to work with us. So
Mhm.
what should I do? That is the question. Your turn. What do you think would be your how would you cover this situation?
Yeah. Well, first, John, it's quite a mouthful, as you said, no. So I'm trying to pick certain keywords from the sentence, because I see two sides here. So the boss has been teasing you for months, no. Months meaning this has been the pattern is there. This has been going
Happening.
on. Yeah, this has been happening. Second, I see from the context, very likely this boss is not a mother.
Yeah, because
Either
probably she doesn't appreciate how it is to be a mother,
correct,
no?
right? So either he's male or even a female without children, no? Because I can't imagine another mother, using these types of jokes, no? Even to joke or make parinig, like what we saw
Mm-mm.
kanina. But
Mm-mm.
definitely for me, there's also context that you are missing out on your deliverables. So that's the two sides I see here. Yes, the
Mm-mm.
boss has is doing the jokes part, but on the other side of the coin, you are also missing out on deliverables. And if
Yeah.
it's been months of missing out on deliverables, then I feel more than the joke itself, there's also one aspect you have to fix, which is really focusing and getting up to speed to prove that you are back, because
Yeah.
maybe you are taking offense on the jokes not just because of the untasteful context, but also
But
because
because you're guilty.
you're guilty and you're really missing out, no? So for
Yeah.
me,
Yes.
that's one underlying issue na for me, more than taking offense on the joke, unahin ko na muna mag-catch
Yeah.
up and prove that I'm back. But
Agree.
secondly, on the other side, the jokes are also in bad taste for me, of course. I don't think motherhood or even missing out on duties, whether it's maternity related or not, basta it's personal, should be raised like this. A good boss for me, John, would, especially if it's been months, no, a good boss for me will sit down, assess what's the gap here, how can I help, put things in proper perspective rather than joke.
Mm-mm.
So
Mm-mm.
so if your boss is not the type to do that, maybe it's also your initiative, no, to initiate a sit down like that, and
I would do the
definitely,
same thing.
diba? Yeah.
Hmm.
That's
I'm
me.
on the
That's my take.
yeah, I'm on the same boat. So there must be a reason why your manager keeps on saying these things because you're not stepping up to the plate. So, which is going to be a different story. You have to work on that. But I totally agree. The comments are in bad taste. So what I would do is confront my manager in one and say, For example, like I understand that they have to fit in certain gaps, but on the same time, I don't think that that you need to raise statements that concern my motherhood, right?
Mm-mm.
Or that concern my identity, for example. So here's where I want you to be confrontational and be truthful that you are offended by the feelings. So say
Mm-mm.
something like, I feel hurt and I feel offended whenever you say that you don't really feel that I was gone, because it makes me feel that the what I have offered in the past do not bring any merit or value
Mm-mm.
to the company,
Mm-mm.
right? You can say that. And so that your boss starts to appreciate that you were hurt and that you as a human being deserves to be respected in this case.
Yeah,
Okay?
call it
Remember
out.
guys, bullying involves power imbalance. Bullying has to start with power imbalance. And in this case, there is power imbalance because it's coming from a boss who has the power to say these things because he knows or she knows that she can say it because she's the one who decides your career,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
right? So can I also raise here some of the comments mentioned because I think they're related to it. So, for example, like when Angel says, "Can bullying be
Mm-hmm.
one-on-one thing, making me feel bad and undermine my capability of some sort?" Yes, it can be. If it again, I would have. There are lots of criteria for bullying. Unfortunately, guys, there is no bullying is not a specific crime. Okay,
Mm-mm.
there is such a thing as cyberbullying, which can be a crime in certain laws, but bullying is not a specific crime that can put you into jail if ever you do
Mm-mm.
it. Right? It needs to have a certain amount of effect or impact in order
Mm-hmm.
for it to
Mm-hmm.
be held as a crime. So it could be bullying that leads to stabbing of the knife.
Correct.
Yan.
To
That's the crime.
violence, bullying that leads to violence.
Bullying that leads to violence, for example, or bullying that leads to libel.
Libel. Mm-hmm.
Right? That's one. That's rather what we cover here, right? So when someone says, "Can bullying be one-on-one thing and making me feel bad under my capability?" Yes. Bullying does not need to involve an audience. Also, by the way, bullying can be
Mm-hmm.
just between the two of you, right? And
Mm-mm.
sometimes it happens more often because the power imbalance even becomes the imbalance even happens more because the person can do it discreetly so that no one
Yeah.
else calls them out. So
Mm-hmm.
in this case, if your boss does this discreetly, the more there is power imbalance. Because if HR finally found out about this, I bet my life they wouldn't do it as well,
Mm-hmm. True,
right?
true.
It's the same response to Cecil's question here, which is in labor code, is there a law
Mm-hmm.
that allows you to file a case against bullying? So not necessarily. However, I do think that companies have their own codes of conduct.
Correct.
It can
HR
be,
should have.
yeah, it can be an HR arbitrary issue.
Mm-mm.
Okay, all right. Let's end the session now. We have a third question. And before
Mm-hmm.
we do that, let's get an exclamation mark. Guys, could you please give us a thumbs up, give us a like, give us a heart if you're learning something so far? I hope you guys are. I want to give away before we end last 5 tickets again for our upcoming session. This is happening on June 29 next week. This is happening on Wednesday 4:30 p.m. Caption writing for online sellers and content creators. It's an online workshop on how to level up your caption writing skills. So
Very
I'll
useful.
give you the floor. Could you please choose again 5 winners in this
Sure,
case?
sure. Let's give it out to Angel Santos.
Okay.
Congratulations.
Congratulations.
Also to Anne Gasman. Congratulations.
Okay.
Jenau Job Hamili. Congratulations. And
Last
hmm,
one.
Eleanor Shim, Facebook.
All
Congratulations.
right, congratulations to all our winners. To claim your prize, please look at the scrolling marquee below, the one that goes from right to left. And we hope you captured that sentence that says, "Winners, claim your prize here." Okay, we'll
Mhm.
see you. Do not forget your prize, caption writing, June 29. If ever this ends and you're able to skip a lot of the info, you can just go back and watch the recording again because this will just be on our news feed for a few hours. Okay, Fa, your turn to read. This is the last letter for from our viewers.
Sure, sure, John. So, John and Farah, I've always been pressured as the youngest member of the team to take down minutes of the meeting. I don't want to do it anymore because I find the task boring, and I do think that it keeps me from contributing as a participant. Valid, since I have to keep tabs of people's comments. every time I suggest someone else to do it, they push back. It seems that it has become my permanent role now. How can I turn this around, John?
Mhm. Again,
Wow,
before we
kawawa
answer this,
naman.
kawawa naman. Before we answer this question, look again at the pattern, no? Again, bullying needs to involve imbalance of power. And again, what's being exploited here is that just because the person was the youngest in the team, the seniors can bully their way into making
Mhm,
him be the one to do the job,
mhm,
right? So, first and foremost, what I think is missing in the information is, does the manager or the leader who's involved in the meeting also is the one who's tasking you to take part of the minutes of meeting, right? So if not, and he's not part of it, I think it's totally fine to involve him and say, and again, don't say this in a way that your candy was stolen. Say it in a way like, for example, I do want to be more of an active contributor in a meeting.
mhm,
However, because I am usually assigned to become the minutes taker, I feel that that role is limited. Can I
mhm,
ask for your guidance? Can I ask for your help on how
mhm,
I can ask my teammates that someone else should do this task instead? So
mhm.
that's one. I would go for that route. I would go for another route, such as in the next meeting, try to be the one to do the presiding, so that you're gonna
Oh, or
have
just
legit,
facilitating.
exactly. You're gonna have the legit reason that you cannot afford to juggle two tasks at the same time. This way, someone else is going to be assigned.
Mhm,
Perhaps the reason why you're always assigned to become the minutes taker is because you also take the minor roles. So if they
mhm,
don't think that you can step up to the plate, then they will not assign you also to critical roles that requires more thinking, requires more intellect
mhm, mhm,
in this
mhm.
case. How about you, Fa? What would your take be on this?
For context lang, naalala ko, John, because every time I'm new in a company, this is one of those first things that I
True. Part
always
siya ng culture,
volunteer.
no?
And I,
Parang part
no,
ng culture eh.
no, John, I volunteer for it.
Okay. Yeah.
Because minutes taking for me like really forces me to listen, to catch up on jargons, ask, make friends, and it's a little task, but I really see it as a golden opportunity to be bibo, and then you have to send it to all of the participants afterwards,
So
so
your
it's
network is
visibility.
enriched.
Correct.
Yes.
So I always volunteer for this. Ako, I'm that person who likes it naman. But
Mm-mm.
in this case, since you don't seem to enjoy it and you want to take on other tasks na, I want to use my experience. No, number one thing I think on how you can turn this around is contextualize it that way. If you have a new employee that you can buddy up with, and say na, this is a great opportunity. While I was doing it, it really forced me to, like what I said, catch up on jargons, ask
Mm-mm.
people, be on my feet, ganyan. So that's one way. If you have that new employee, pwede mo lang ipasa, right? Not to bully that person also, but to frame it that
As
way
training ground.
as
Yeah.
training ground,
Agree.
and to break
The
this
cycle.
thing, the cycle, no. It can also be a tradition. Every time there's a new employee, we assign that person to be the minutes taker, right? So you're starting off something by breaking the cycle first, and then the rest I also aligned with what John said. There are other ways, no, that you can ask support from other people in the team. Hey, do you want to volunteer to do this instead? I'm
Mm-mm.
sure not
Mm-mm.
everyone is bullying you to
Agree.
do it.
Agree. I think this is the very critical part because I don't want our listeners and viewers to think that just because
Mm-mm.
you feel that you're being given an unfair task, you're already being bullied. I
Correct.
hope
And
that's not the
John,
key takeaway here, huh? Yeah, go
and
ahead.
John also, I'd like to highlight what Jiza and LinkedIn said. You can objectively start a new rule by saying it needs to be a different note taker
Person,
each meeting,
each meeting, yeah. Yeah.
right? Or you, or
I
you
would also
assign
call that
someone
out.
else.
I would raise the concept of fairness and
Mm,
equality so that it doesn't look like I'm doing this because I don't want to be that victim. Rather, you're
mm,
calling out fairness from everyone. So that works better as well.
agree.
Right. So I'm saying this also because I think there's a clear line between, sorry, there's a blurred line. Sometimes
Mm,
you might think that it's bullying, but it's not. Sometimes you
oo.
think that you're the one who's being bullied, pero super sensitive ka lang pala. To the point that you're starting to call out that everyone who gives you a constructive feedback is a bully. Not at
Alright.
all. Right?
Mhm,
Sometimes you have
mhm,
to look into the mirror and say, are you really stepping up to the plate or are you being bullied? And those two things are
mm.
different as well. right?
True, true.
Bullying, remember, needs to have an imbalance of power to the point that the person who's being incriminated puts themselves into an inferior position that affects how they see themselves and affects how they can position themselves in the company,
Correct.
right? So there. So I hope whoever this person is, look at the silver lining, but at the same time, if it persists, call out for fairness, call out for equality. Okay. All right. Fat. Time flies so fast. That's already 30 minutes.
I
I
know.
would love to ask the participants to please give us an exclamation mark. Did you learn something again? We hope we are able to share some tactics and some spills on how we can vocalize and speak up if we are in situations wherein we're being bullied by our colleagues or by our managers as well. I hope you're able to learn. Very good. Thank you. And as I end, could you please give us a like, give us a heart? We will appreciate that. And I'd also like to invite you to please give us a try on Spotify. If you're into podcasts, please give it a listen. This is From Grit to Great, together with my brother Jed. We talk about career, entrepreneurship, motivation, and the like. All right. Thank you again for joining me here. I know that you're
Thank
about to
you.
schedule a film. You're going to watch the cinemas, right?
Yes.
What
Yep,
are you going to
yep.
watch? Are you
We're
watching
watching
Jujutsu Kaisen?
no, we're watching Buzz Lightyear with kids. So
Oh, okay. All right.
pamangkins. All right.
So I hope you have a great day ahead and see you guys in the next episode. Bye.
You too. Bye everyone.